carry this.
I cannot carry it. I've always heard stories about the Atlantic slave trade, especially from my grandmother. She tells me how foreign ships arrive on our shores, taking away our ancestors to work in very harsh, unimaginable conditions. When I say bad, I mean inhumane. So today, I decided to come see this history for myself because this place called Badagry represents a very powerful chapter in Nigeria's past. Badagry is known as the place where the transatlantic slave trade began in Nigeria. It tells the story of how slave trade started and how foreign ships connected through the Atlantic Ocean. But since I didn't know much and how it all happened, I decided to visit, see things for myself, and document the experience for my viewers who are interested in knowing their roots. So first thing first, I had to do my research, and in the process, I found out that there are actually two museums in Badagry dedicated to the slave trade. The Badagry Heritage Museum and the Seriki Abbas compound. So later on, I discovered that the one which played the most significant role is the slave trade museum located in Seriki Abbas compound. So I quickly reached out to a tour guide to know what it would take to visit the museum. And after a bit back and forth, we had a deal, and finally I'm here live and direct.
You are welcome to Badagry Kingdom, the corridor of slavery in the year 16th century to 18th century. And also, you're welcome to this compound called Brazilian Barracoon.
For those wondering what a Brazilian barracoon means, a barracoon basically means a place where the enslaved Africans were kept before they were taken to the ships. And it's managed by the Brazilian slave merchants. I guess that's why it's called the Brazilian barracoon.
That's why they brought all these items to Africa in exchange of our brothers and sisters. In exchange of our mothers and grandmothers, really grandmothers, they brought umbrella. Umbrella in exchange of 40 slaves.
Wow.
40 women paid for one umbrella.
Can you imagine?
A bottle of gin, 10 slaves. A bottle of wine, 10 slaves. A long cannon gun, 100.
The tour guides just made me pause for a bit. When I used to hear the stories, I didn't really think deep about it. I didn't really think so deep about it until I witnessed it today. How our ancestors traded human lives for things like umbrella, dry jeans, long cannon gun. Imagine 40 human beings for umbrella, 10 slaves, like they call them, for dry gin, and 100 human beings for a long cannon gun. Wow, it's really unbelievable. It's unbelievable, but that's the reality back then, you know. People were meant to believe that, people were made to believe that those materials had more value than human lives, human beings. Yeah, they were meant to believe that those materials had more value than human beings, because I don't see why. And that's the sad part of this history. Not just the slavery itself, but how deeply it corrupted the minds of our own people too.
Take. Lift it up from there. This is the umbrella.
Oh my goodness, it's heavy.
Yes.
For 40
this is
slaves.
the umbrella for 40 slaves. The only surviving umbrella for 40 slaves.
This is for the neck of the slaves, and this is called the headlock. And slaves were meant to work with this around their necks for 18 hours every day. It's even while traveling. The chain will remain around their neck for about 3 to 4 months. I don't know the weight of the chain. Jesus Christ! It's heavy! So for all of you, you can carry this.
I cannot carry it.
So you can imagine what the slaves mean.
When they put those chains on my neck, I was like, OMG, what is this? They were so heavy. And I was asked how long I could carry it. because those slaves actually wore those chains around their neck all day, every day, whether they are walking or sleeping.
This was one of the money spent in that period because it's cowries. But cowries was only recognized as money among we blacks. Over there is the slave drinking pots. And about 40 slaves have to drink water from it at the same time. And they drink water like animals. Sometimes
Those slaves are human beings like me now.
yes.
So how do they try to bend their and with their hands at their back? How do they try to bend their feet?
With the chain.
Very difficult.
With the ones I getting.
Yes.
I couldn't carry those chains for a minute. It was so uncomfortable. The hook at the back kept hitting my neck. It was seriously hitting my neck, and the weight was literally dragging my neck down. It was dragging my neck down. So I'm wondering how they did it. I'm just wondering how.
This is the slave cell. Look at the small window, no ventilation. And I told you earlier on, nothing like I want to defecate, nothing like I want to urinate, or not like I'm menstruated, I want to go and clean up. They have to remain inside the cell. That's why somebody suffocate inside the cell and die because of the heat and the other.
Yes. 40 slaves, as in 40 human beings, in a small room for 3 to 4 months. No ventilation, just a tiny hole serving as a window.
This is the room for the women, where they kept 40 women, and probably breed the babies. The one that is pregnant, the one that is not pregnant, the one that is breastfeeding with babies, together to make it 40 women inside this place. So let's
Really sad. I had to ask if the women were treated any differently, because I can't begin to imagine what it's like for a woman on her period in such condition, with no ways to clean up. Even the pregnant women and women with newborn babies went through the same horror. Like how? So now we are heading to the point of no return, the exact spot where the slaves got to and could never come back. To reach it, we have to cross this lagoon to the other side where the final journey began. Badagry was founded around the early 15th century, long before the Europeans came. What's even more shocking is that the slave trade had already begun. Africans were capturing other Africans, mostly prisoners of war, long before the Europeans arrived and turned it into a massive business. By the time the Europeans came to our shores, they didn't start the trade, they simply expanded it, systemized it, and made it even more brutal.
Here is the word, the dog that we give to the slave to drink, that make them to lose their memory. The bad man, they complain that the slave used to go against them on the IC, and they fought them and wounded them several times. So they now say, okay, what can we do? The slave now make suggestion to dig this well and give the slave to drink. This well was charmed. They put black magic inside this well. After drinking the water, they made them to make some incantation. After the incantation, they lose their memory.
This well was dug because the white slave traders complained that the enslaved Africans always rebelled against them on the IC. So the local chiefs decided to dig this well and add black magic to it. And it's believed that whenever the slaves drank from this well, they temporarily lose their memory for about 3 to 4 months. Just enough time for them to get to their destination and regain it. So guys, this is the point of no return. The final path enslaved Africans walked before being taken to the ships that sailed across the Atlantic. Once they crossed this route, there was no coming back. No family, no freedom, no return.
You are correct.
But standing here today, I can't help but notice it doesn't look like it used to. You can tell it hasn't been preserved. And honestly, it's really sad because a place with this much history deserves protection. Because every corner around here holds a story that shaped who we are today. There might not be physical chains anymore, but there is what we now call modern slavery. The kind that traps people mentally, financially, and emotionally. People still get exploited, still get controlled, and still lose their freedom, just in different ways. The system changed, but the struggle didn't. This is Monek Hub, and thank you all for watching.